Check once where the bros are here. Talking soccer, sipping root beer. From the stands to the pitch to your ears tonight. They break it down, no fluff, no gloss. Goals and misses, they count the cost. Laugh aloud while they analyze the fight. RSL bros, they're running the show. Kicking it live where the fans all go. From the mountains high to the valley low. RSL bros, they're in the know.
RSL Nation!
Por
It's been
fin,
so
por
long.
fin, por fin, we are back.
Oh man, guys, it's been way too long. In fact, I haven't talked to you guys a lot because I wanted to talk a lot here. After this episode, we could talk a lot more in the chat, but I wanted to save all my feelings that I've had for the past. It's been 2 weeks since we recorded, so because we skipped out last week because really, there was no RSL. Because really, if there's no RSL.
And your sister was leaving on her mission, so family time was needed.
It's true. We did spend a lot of family time together. That was much needed. It was great. But in light of everything that has happened within the past 12 hours or so, or by the time you listen to it, the past day, we just want to, as a RSL Bros podcast, just make a quick, we'll call it an announcement that we absolutely condemn violence, all types of violence. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you stand for. Violence is not appropriate at any time. So, with that, this is going to be the lineup for today. And I hope you guys are ready because I like I said, I've been silent with you guys because I want to hear your guys' like absolute transparent take on everything that has happened for the past week. So we're going to talk about the U.S. national team. That's been kind of a hot topic. It was a hot topic, especially after the first game. But we're going to talk about our thoughts on first game, the second game, lineups, Luna, all of it. We're going to lay it out on the table. All right. Next, we're going to talk about RSL and playoffs. I know you guys probably are. In fact, most of you that are listening are probably like, playoffs. I know. We're going to talk about it because, well, there is a chance. And then obviously we're going to talk about the game coming up this Saturday, which we are all super excited for. Again, 2 weeks without RSL. That is
Finally
way too long.
I've been scratching and just waiting for soccer to be back, and finally,
we can thank Gondarber. He's going to be a regular.
Oh, Gondarber, what a guy! What a guy!
What a guy!
What a guy!
And then we'll end off with some Instagram questions. We want to thank all of you guys for sending those in. We really appreciate the we'll call it trust that you have in our opinion, which you shouldn't. But it's fun.
You can trust my opinion. I'm always right.
Okay.
I was like, Christian's a trustworthy guy.
Sure. All right. So with that, let's dive into this U.S. national team talk. Christian, since you're probably the biggest one out of all three of us, give me your thoughts. Game 1, game 2, whatever order you want. What have been your thoughts on the U.S. national team this past international window?
Obviously, the South Korea game was disappointing. And if any of you follow me on X, aka Twitter, you would have seen my very, very one tweet rant about how I think the loss against South Korea was 100% the fault of the players. I actually do not blame Pochettino at all for that.
Not even a little bit?
Not really.
Because even for player selection?
Not really. Because hey, let me talk. Jeez.
Speak, my friend.
I mean, formation-wise, it's the only thing I could maybe think of. But, okay, I will say, Arvston, I know that, he was given praise for that, for assisting the first goal with Zendejas, but I have some thoughts on that we'll get to. But otherwise, Arvston was absolute garbage. Ream underperformed. I think a lot of the going from back to the front, Freeze did as well as he could, and I think it's ridiculous, by the way. Freeze got 2 goals scored against him, got a 6.0 average. Japan's goalie, Osako, got 2 goals scored against him. He got a 7.9 on FOTMob. That makes zero sense to me. But out of the back line, it's funny that Zach Arfson, Tim Ream, and Tristan Blackman all got rated higher than Serginho Dest, but I think Serginho Dest was actually the best defender on the team that night. He just had to do a lot more work than the rest of them because the rest of them were sitting around, they're getting spun around like tops at a Beyblade convention.
You know what Beyblade is? I thought it was like a little kid thing because my son plays with
Oh
Beyblades. So
no, Beyblades
Dude,
are huge. Beyblades are
th
huge.
those have been around for 20 plus years.
Uh-huh.
They're nothing new.
Marcos, don't shake your head because if I didn't know, how
I,
do you
I
know?
I know what Beyblades are.
Whatever.
Tyler Adams was disappointing. Berhalter, not great. Diego Luna, 6 points, since I actually do think that's an appropriate rating for him. Marcos said it pretty well in our chat during the game. He just seemed nervous, edgy. Just, I think a lot of it was a mind game for him, not an ability thing. When he came off the bench against Japan, I thought he played a much better game. That 6.3 rating that was given to him on FOTMob, absolutely ridiculous. He he was. It was funny. Selfless Diego Luna, who's a playmaker, plays very well in the U.S. national team scheme, and especially with the formation that was used against Japan. Selfish Diego Luna plays better in the RSL model. He has to switch up his style of play depending if he's playing with Real Salt Lake or the U.S. men's national team, which is counterintuitive to some people, but that's what makes sense to me. And then Josh Sargent was Josh Sargent for the U.S. men's national team, completely absent. Balogun played much better.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with that. At least the South Korea game. Marcos, what do you got?
I think I'll start with the Korea game first of all. I think I just saw a team with a lot of nerves. I saw a team where we had Pulisic, obviously, who didn't play in the Gold Cup, his first couple of games with this team. So kind of getting this feel and the jive of them. Weah wasn't really sold on him. And I think for me personally, I would rather see Diego Luna be a player coming off the bench for this national team because he's just one who I feel like he's more confident, has like that composure coming off the bench, being able to set the tone, set the mood for the squad.
Interesting. If we're gonna go player by player, I mean, I'm gonna talk about the most disappointing players for me right now, which would be Tyler Adams.
Mhm.
Absolutely a disappointment, a super letdown. And it gets to the point where I'm thinking, I can't believe people were calling for him to be our captain. Everyone needs to be like Tyler Adams, needs to be aggressive, scrappy, whatever. Um, eh, Give me all the excuses you want that he came off of injury. He's been injured for the past year or two, fighting all these injuries to try to get back to what he was. But that's exactly what it is. It's what he was. Currently, right now, he is an absolute blah to our midfield.
He's been playing better for Bournemouth. I mean, where's this reserved crappy playing midfield Tyler Adams coming from? Well, and for Bournemouth, he is scrappy and vocal and somewhat Argentine in
Oh,
style.
it's the same thing that we see with Pulisic when he plays for Milan. We see that scrappy, that goal scoring player, but then it's complete opposite when we see him play for his national team.
Now, yeah, speaking of Pulisic, that's again another just huge disappointment. Like you're coming off of making a stupid documentary about. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I guess stupid is
It's
probably a little
not
extreme.
not worth it. I
For,
saw
for for you probably not. For other people, yes. Um, he comes off of making certain comments on a documentary. Comes out swinging because certain commentators made comments against him and some of his teammates, and then he shows up with a very underwhelming, lackluster performance. He may have spiked a couple of times in
Eh,
this South Korea game where he had like some moments where it's like, oh, okay, maybe that's gonna get him going, but it was super lackluster at best.
you can't trash talk like that and not back it up.
Absolutely.
You can't. You absolutely cannot. I mean, the only person who couldn't back up his words was Weston McKennie because he wasn't selected for this roster.
Facts, facts.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but honestly as well, Weston McKennie is more likely to get into a fight on the field than Christian Pulisic.
Oh yeah.
That's fair. I think for me, in my opinion, going back to this Korea game, a player that I think should have started but came off the bench was Chris Richards.
Oh,
We
yes.
saw what he did in the Gold Cup, holding that back line for the US. I'm like Blackman, Tim Ream, like they were not it. They were not it in that Korea game.
I would have
Guys,
swapped out Richards for Blackman
Yeah,
like that.
in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
yeah, and Tim Weah also was just not it. Um, guys, this comes to my next point of did are we expecting too much out of that generation of national team players? I heard this from well,
But
did
I
I
guess,
hear it?
but
Well,
I guess give credit where credit's due. South Korea is a very good team, even without Sun. Yes,
They they fell. I'm actually going to s- Korea, South Korea needs Sun kind of like Argentina needed Messi over this past weekend. Their quality of play, ability to play make, attack on the ball tanked dramatically after Sun was subbed off.
true, true.
yes. And that's what I think. Look, I'm not going to say that I was surprised that South Korea did really well because, to be honest, I'm not. I'm surprised of how bad the U.S. looked. It literally looked like some kind of Barca versus Oviedo game. It was like you could see the quality difference, even though the stats show that the U.S. had more possession. But really,
I was like, no,
whoa.
no hate on Oviedo now.
I well, fine. I won't hate
It's
on Oviedo,
it,
but
it sounds like what is that phrase we say all the time here? Remind me, Alan.
uh,
What do we call that on this podcast when you
useless
have a majority
possession.
of Oh, look at that.
Oh,
It's back.
it's
This is the
back.
Useless Possession podcast.
Now, you could tell that South Korea, like to your point, Sun was like a majority of their attack. When Sun came off, that's when the U.S. could attack more. They had more possession. In fact, the passing in the second half, they had more passes in the opposition half than in their
But
own half.
when Sun came off, that was about the same time that Luna came off. So we kind of saw US kind of dwindle off as well in that attack as well.
Well, I actually might beg to differ because the second half, in fact, Marcos, I sorry, I don't want to prove you wrong, but I'm going to prove you wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Um,
Prove me wrong.
second half, the U.S. had 14 shots on goal.
You're right. And then one for Korea. Yes.
The first half, we had 3 shots on goal. There was nothing, and I wonder, and maybe RSL fans are going to hate me for this. Is Luna really ready for this big step?
Yes, as a substitute. No, as a starter. Because here's the thing. We, I think part of what I'm going to give some benefit of the doubt to Diego Luna. You know me, I tend to lean on the more
Yeah.
optimistic side. This is the first time that he's been at this trying to collaborate with players that are at a higher level. Really.
Okay.
Look at the roster that we had at the Gold Cup. They were all about Luna's level. If
MLS.
not a little MLS, maybe a little bit lower as well, Liga MX. And
Shots.
so which anyway, so you have Diego trying to compete at a higher level. So I wonder if his nerves wasn't necessarily because he was starting against South Korea, but it was the quality of players that he was lining up with. And feeling like, hey, if I can put on a good show here, I can prove that I'm ready for the top leagues in Europe.
Yeah,
And that could be the source of his anxiety there. Whereas too, when he came on against the Japan game, I was like, okay, my nerves are gone, and we see a much more mature performance. A lot of fantastic playmaking. He had several almost assists on the front end, and you saw him not tracking back as far and being more aggressive on his positioning up top. And you just saw a much more mature performance of him out of the second game when he came on as a substitute. So I think he is ready for this level as a substitute, not as a starter.
Yeah, I agree to Christian's point because when we saw when Luna came back with RSL after the Gold Cup, still very, very much lackluster, still a little shaky. And I still think he needs time. Still needs time to build that confidence if he wants to be heading overseas.
Yeah, and we could dive into this. In fact, this whole first segment, we could have a whole episode just on this because there's a lot of stuff that I think a lot of stuff needs to be talked about with Diego Luna, and his development. He's
And
developing great,
I think
but
I think as a U.S. national team as a whole in these past two games against Korea and Japan, I think even if they were have to qualify for the World Cup, obviously they don't have to. I don't think they would be able to make it in. It would be rough. It would be definitely rough, but I think they'd be scratching and clawing their way in. They'd be with Honduras, they'd be with Panama right now trying to fight their way in.
But, I don't know with the current format. We would probably be second or third in CONCACAF.
yeah, I would probably be this in the second or third crowd for sure. But I tweeted out, especially after the Korea game, there was a there was a moment where I was like just super frustrated, and so I tweeted this. I really felt this because I grew up, and you guys probably did too, but I grew up idolizing the U.S. national team between 2000 and at least 2014.
Hmm.
Okay, we you could give me a number or show me a lineup, and I know how to name a majority of the World Cup squads. Um, but I feel like, and this is what I wrote, I said all the work that the U.S. national team players from 2000 to 2014 have done to make this team popular and grow the sport here in this country has gone in the toilet because of the recent national team runs. The past 10 years, and literally that the past 10 years since not qualifying for 2018. So that whole qualifying, the hex, all of that, the past 10 years worth of US national team players have not figured out how to have the heart and are killing fandom hardcore. Guys, that's how I feel right now with this national team is that ever since 2017 they have killed my want to be a fan, kind of like you, Christian. I don't feel like I can fully commit to this U.S. national team without getting my heart ripped out because they don't have a heart. You can tell me, yeah, they qualified
Yeah.
for 2022 and they played really well. They tied England and got on to the next round. Guys, for me, those were those were out of the ordinary results. They had to play extraordinary. It wasn't a norm. Because the norm was once they got into the next round and played against Holland, that was them.
So I guess I'll ask you guys the question. In these next, I think there's like three or four friendlies left for the U.S. What do you need to see different for you to change that mindset going into the World Cup?
I need to see aggression. I need to see not only more shots on goal, but more shots in the net. I think one of the things that's killing the uh, this U.S. men's national team is that there still isn't a true finisher. There isn't someone who we don't have a Luis Suarez, we don't have an Edison Cavani, somebody who can to Uruguayans that are finishers, right? People that put it in the back of the net. Like that is what they do. And we really don't have it. Balogun's probably the closest that we have, but we can't always rely on, like Alan said, extraordinary moments. Like the goal from Zendejas. Let's talk about that real quick.
Mhm.
Beautiful volley.
Yeah.
Fantastic. He's never going to score again. He used up all of his luck in that. in that shot right there. I watched him play with Club America against Real Salt Lake. You cannot tell me that was the same player. He was absent against Real Salt Lake. I would not have called him up.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, he's having a good season with Club America." No, he's not. He's absent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the fact that he got one fantastic shot on goal, it was beautiful goal, great awareness from him, well put in, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can't rely on those extraordinary moments. And Real Salt Lake is kind of in the same bucket as that.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but yeah. um, and another point that I wanted to make about these two games, we really need to put these games into context. The Korea game, for me, showed the actuality of the U.S. national team. That is the actual state of U.S. soccer. The Japan game, I think it is an out of context game. So in
Yeah.
context, it's out of context
We're,
because
we're playing Japan's bench.
well, Japan switched out all 11 players from their game against Mexico. They tied 0-0 to Mexico with their quote unquote starting 11. Um, they switched out all 11 to play against the US, and the US puts a goal early on them, 17th-ish minute, something like that.
30th.
23rd, 30th? Nah, something like that. I guess it's not early then. Um, and then in the 62nd, it was right after a couple of subs from Japan, and they put in out of their 5 subs, 3 of them were starters from the previous game. So they even put in a their normals. All 5 weren't their normal starters, only 3. And even then, the U.S. scored like literally a couple minutes after they entered onto the field. After that, there was meh.
Yeah,
So
for me, yes, they got that victory against Japan. Cool, impressive. But I'm still scratching my head. There's still a lot of questions to be asked about this squad with a couple of friendlies left to go.
And I was gonna say you can't be asking these questions 10 months out from a World Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
well, I mean, let's
And the friendlies that they have left are not any easy tasks. They have Ecuador, Australia, Uruguay, and Portugal now.
I thought
I
they had
think
Paraguay.
it's Paraguay.
Oh, but no,
Yeah,
I thought Portugal got
No,
finalized.
it's Portugal is finalized.
yeah,
Wait, let me look.
Portugal, Uruguay, Paraguay. It wasn't Ecuador.
Yeah, we've got Ecuador
Yeah.
on the 10th of Ecuador, 10th of October, Australia, Paraguay, Uruguay, and then they're finalizing um,
Okay. Fine.
Portugal for March of next year, which is not on the calendar yet.
But can we talk about? I mean, I know Christian, you support Pochettino. He's a we'll call it world class coach. But how can you call yourself a world class coach when you haven't decided on a starting 11 10 months before you're hosting a World Cup? This has got to be the biggest disaster in U.S. soccer history.
I, ugh, that's a bit of a stretch, but to kind of flip it back around to you, have you seen 11 players that are consistent and good enough to compete at a World Cup level?
Well, no, and that's been on, I think, on the shoulders of U.S. soccer for their coaching uh, fiasco for the past 6 years.
Sure, and that's absolutely fair. I think we saw with the South Korea game. Let me explain it like this: U.S. Soccer was in charge of U.S. of the team for U.S. versus South Korea. Pochettino got his formation and lineup for Japan.
What makes you say that? Explain.
I mean, it wasn't just a couple of changes. It was a drastic formation shift that we saw and a pretty heavy player rotation against Korea. We saw something that we were pretty familiar at seeing of a 4-2-3-1.
Right.
Something that is it's a bit neutral, but it allows for a lot of the fan favorites and stuff to get in there. And then he flipped it to a 3-4-3, which is very unusual for the United States. The United States is not used to playing a 3-back at all. But it allowed the team to play on more of a front foot. It allowed for faster counterattacks. It allowed for greater diversification in defense so that if needed, that three could melt down into a five back.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
gonna say.
and it was uncharacteristically aggressive, and I think that plays better to the players that we have.
So
Everybody that we've had before, the coaches that we've had before, have been kind of middle of the ground, not too aggressive, a little more defensive, and kind of we're okay with sitting back. And I think, and we know that U.S. soccer has a lot of say in the players that are called up, and I bet they have a lot in like, hey, you should consider this formation. And I wonder if Pochettino went, hey, this game, I'm doing my thing. I don't care what y'all want. We're doing this formation. U.S. Soccer like, okay, fine, prove it, and they got a
well, and I
much better
guess
result out of it.
my question to that may be, then did the formation win the game, or did the players win the game? Because if the formation absolutely changed, that means the tactics change. He has the players that he needs then. So it's just a formation then that won the game, and not technically the players. Because if the same players, I know all of them didn't play and started the South Korea game, but if they were to have started the South Korea game, these same players, but in the South Korea formation, do you think they would have gotten the same result?
No,
Hmm. Interesting.
because the formation that Japan used in this game, yes, I know it was an oil change, right? But that formation that they brought up was all about control of the midfield. And if the U.S. hadn't lined up in the 3-4-3, we would have been outclassed on possession. They would have run circles around us. So
Hmm.
yes, in a sense, the formation won the game, but it is all obviously on the players. And I
Interesting.
think it was a good tactical change by Pochettino, which I don't. I wonder if he didn't have the freedom before to do that.
Interesting. I mean, we can leave it at that. I mean, like I said, we
I
could
guess
talk a long time for this.
last stat before we move on. Pulisic in 2025 so far for U.S. men's national team, 3 games, 249 minutes, 0 goals, 0 assists, and 1 documentary.
That's a great stat. That's definitely he's played 249 more minutes than me, has filmed one more documentary than me, but me and him are tied on goals and assists.
Yeah, how many goals has Diego Luna gotten for the U.S. men's national team this year?
Aha! Dois. Cool. All right. Well, U.S. national team. Gotta love it. Let's switch gears then. We'll go into something that we're maybe a little bit more expert in. So let's talk a little bit about RSL.
Woohoo!
Great. um,
Woohoo!
RSL is back this weekend. We are back.
Yay!
we're back. This is
Ah,
where I breathe a sigh of relief because really talking about anything else besides RSL kind of makes me nervous.
yeah, I get to see Christian at a game.
Wait, I was at the game last, right? I was last game. Was I?
Oh yeah, I forgot about you.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh. I remember that. I remember that. Guys, let's talk about something serious though. Um, RSL is not sitting in a very pretty spot right now in the table. Where are we at? We're 10th,
11th.
11th.
11th. Guys, guys. Let's talk about what's left and the
All right.
the possibilities of RSL and the playoffs because really this is we could point fingers right now, we could play the blame game, but let's talk numbers. And then we can talk about your feelings. Because numbers don't care about your feelings at this point. Um we're in 11th. We are 4 points behind San Jose, who's occupying the ninth spot. Houston is in between us at 33 points. Um,
Yep.
Colorado's at 36 points, occupying the eighth spot. So that's a difference of 5 points within six, no, 5 spots, because if you include Dallas. Dallas is tied with us at 31 points. Okay. I have some good news regarding all of this. All right. The good news is that we have 2 games in hand.
That
Like it.
is actually great
I
news.
like. I like. I like. I
In
like.
fact, in fact, we are the only. Actually, there's Seattle and Vancouver are with us with 2 games in hand against the majority of everyone. Dallas is at. Oh, sorry. I'll start with us. We have 27 games played. Dallas is 28, and everyone above us, Houston, San Jose, and Colorado, have played 29 games. Which means, if you're good at math, that means there's 6 points that are like floating in the air for us. So if you're a statistician, you're thinking, all right, if RSL has those 6 points,
Mhm.
that puts us at 37 points, which technically that would put us in 8th place right now.
Well, let me help you out. I got the numbers for you.
Okay,
So
perfect.
so
Give us the numbers.
give it.
The non-numbers guys has the numbers.
This is
So
weird.
so the current standings, as it currently stands, the 8th seed for RSL is a 13% chance. 9 seed, 16% chance. Not making the playoffs, 61% chance.
That's currently.
That's currently as it stands. So best case scenario for RSL, if LAFC beats Earthquakes, RSL beats KC,
Wait, wait,
Red
wait,
Bulls.
wait. You're going way too fast here. LAFC and San Jose play.
Yes, if LAFC beats Earthquakes, RSL beats KC, Red Bulls beats Timbers. So if those things align, if those things happen, best case scenario, an 8 seed would then jump up to 19% chance. A 9 seed would be 20, and then not making the playoffs would be a 44% chance.
Oh, we dropped like a whole 20%.
But worst case scenario, if all those things don't happen, if Earthquakes beat LAFC, if KC beats RSL, Timbers beat Red Bulls, then an 8 seed goes to a 5% chance. A 9 seed, 11% chance. Not making the playoffs, 82% chance.
And that's with 7 games left in the season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, because I mean, think about it logically. San Jose wins, they move up to 38 points. So that puts them into 8th place because they can't reach Portland. Portland gets 3 points and they go up to 42 points. That puts them
Fifth place.
5th place. That means we're fighting Colorado, and Colorado is still 5 points ahead of us. So obviously there's some math in there, like what if we win, but the other 2 don't go our way? Yeah, there's math in there. But we really need to worry about ourselves because if I'm not wrong, on that graph, there's
The magic number out of the 7 games, we need to win 4 of the 7. The reason being, if we win 4 of the 7, an eight seed jumps up to a 41% chance. 9 seed, 38% chance, and then not making the playoffs is 11% chance.
so you're
That's
saying
that's
if
if we win 4 of 7.
if we win 4 games, so 12 points. 12 points right now would put us at 43 points. Still 3 points off of my magic number. But the remaining schedule for RSL, that's probably what we need to dig into real quick.
Ooh, I've got it.
Thank you. You read my mind. Get it.
All right. This Saturday, RSL hosts Sporting KC. Then Wednesday, a week from today when we're recording this, LAFC comes to town to visit. We host LAFC. We immediately follow back. We follow LA, probably on the same flight back, and we play them on a very rare MLS Sunday game for
Okay.
RSL.
Oh.
In LA. We follow that up a week later with RSL hosting Austin, and then again another week later, our final home game of the season
Rocky
against
Mountain Cup.
Colorado for the Rocky Mountain Cup. I think that game right there, honestly, is probably the most important game that we have left.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think winner of Rocky Mountain Cup this year is going to get the 9 seed.
Yep. And then for the last 2 games of the season, we travel to Seattle and then St. Louis.
All right. So
I was going to ask you guys, out of those 7 games, which one do you think realistically are winnable 4 games?
we
KC,
yeah, I was gonna say
Austin, Colorado, St. Louis.
KC, Austin, Colorado, St. Louis. Okay.
Those are the four most winnable games. I'm not guaranteeing 100% that we are going to win all four games. I just think those are the most winnable games.
Okay. Um, then let's dig into this just slightly. So, in the South Korea game, if I wasn't mistaken, it looked like Son came up a little bit fatigued, we'll call it, without calling it an injury. That's why he was subbed out. He was just exhausted. I wonder if he plays this weekend for LAFC, starts, plays the 90, if he plays 90. I
Y-
wonder if he's going to be able to travel, play at altitude.
If is good. If is good.
If it's good. Thank you, Hercules. Did it say if?
If. Yeah.
Okay,
Isn't
Well,
whatever.
that Pain and Panic specifically?
Pain and
it,
panic. Yes.
it is. It is.
So I, the Sporting KC game has to be a win. We'll dig into it in just a second. It has to be a win. One of the LAFC games, we have to get points.
Agreed.
Points. I don't care 0-0, 1-1, heck, 1-0. We need points out of one of the LAFC games. Ditch the one in LA. I don't care. But if we get points there, we get points this weekend. Let's say let's do what we're thinking. If we do a win against Kansas City, that's 3. Um, we'll do a tie against LAFC, so that's 4. We'll lose the second one. Let's wait, Marcos, you said 12, 4 wins, right? So technically we need a doesn't matter if it's 4 wins, I think. I think if we get 12 points, maybe. If we tie against Austin, let's do let's play this game. 5 points. Colorado, let's win. That's 8. Seattle, that's a loss. Crap, we don't make it. Um
Don't
crap.
forget St. Louis.
Why not? I'm expecting to win, but that would have been 11 points. We wouldn't have made
Uh,
it.
I think the thing that we need to be concerned about out of these 7 games is we need to put in account when Gozo's gone.
Oh, yeah, guys, let's talk about that for like half a second. Gozo
Because
is
I think
leaving
it's I think it's after the second LAFC game, that's when he's gone.
for
Because
the
it's
rest of the season.
the last 4 games of the season, Gozo will be gone. That's when he heads off to the World Cup. So we only get Gozo for 3 more games. And then he's going to be gone for possibly the playoffs if we make it to that point because yeah.
Guys, that if you guys are hearing this for the first time, then
Uh,
sorry.
and then on top of that, we'll be without Luna in October.
If well, that's the thing. If he gets called up,
Most
some
likely. Most likely.
well,
Most likely.
some are saying that the October one is going to be probably the last one MLS teams are going to be letting their players go. The November one is probably going to be mostly international players for the U.S. national team because
But
because November is playoff heavy.
let's say
That's true.
Luna is called up, we'll miss him for Colorado and Seattle.
Oh, well, give me the dates of the October games for the U.S.
I
I need
have them
some
right here. October
fast.
10th, October 14th, and those just those 2 dates, 10th and 14th.
So he
We
will
could
be here
have
for the
him for the
fourth.
Colorado. Yeah.
We'll have him
Also
for Colorado.
just Seattle.
You said 10th and 14th?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll miss him for the Seattle game, which I can, for now, at this moment, I'm going to scratch that up as a loss. I mean, just how it is. Unless of course, Seattle as well. I mean, there, if again, worst case scenario or best case scenario for us, Roldan played really well in this window. He gets called up again. They're without Roldan.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's the biggest thing that we need to be concerned about going into these last 7 games is we're going to be without possibly Luna and Gozo.
At least Gozo for 4, Luna for at least 1.
So
Shoot. And then obviously taking into consideration any kind of suspensions, injuries that might happen. So, guys, the
I'm sticking with my prediction though. I gotta.
prediction for the playoffs.
hmm The four most winnable games. I still,
Okay.
regardless of the personnel.
Okay. All right. Then let's dig a little bit deeper into this weekend. RSL KC. We're back at home.
Woohoo!
For the first time since the 23rd of August. Where guys, let's talk about current state of RSL. We are on a 3-game losing streak.
Ugh.
Um, we've scored 2 goals in 3 games. It's not looking good. In fact, after the Minnesota game, I think there were I think RSL as a club should be really glad that we had 2 weeks off because to be honest, and sorry for everyone that's listening, but you guys all fell off the face of the planet. No one talked about RSL. No one
Yeah,
cared that
that's
we're on
true.
a 3-game losing streak. No one cared that we've been playing absolutely horrendous. No one's worried about RSL right now.
Which
And
kind of
that in
that
turn
cons
is
that
worrying.
that concerns me. Yeah,
Um
We could turn that into our advantage where RSL comes out of nowhere and it's like, surprise!
for sure,
But
for
I
sure.
agree.
yeah,
I'm hoping with these 2 week break that these new players, DeAndre, Victor, Ruan, that they had time to get together with the team and train hard.
I mean we
Isn't DeAndre suspended for?
that's what I was gonna say. So
Correct, correct.
DeAndre is suspended for this Saturday. So we're probably gonna see a Caliskin go back to his spot, which we
Which is
we
fine.
we ranted. He should have stayed in that spot.
Right.
Um, but guys, it's still worrying the fact that we're on a 3-game losing streak, and from a fan point of view, how everyone has literally just fallen off the face of the planet, not really caring. Um, is this something that um, heck, us three, are you guys concerned that there is a lack of engagement with the fans right now? I don't want to tell again. We've heard too many complaints of don't tell people how to fan,
Yeah.
but are you guys
Obviously not.
worried?
Obviously not. Um, yes, I'm partially worried, but then I'm not surprised because we see this year in and year out from RSL, and I think it's usually around this time, September going in October, that people just slowly, I guess, start losing interest because we see college football, we see other football, and it's
Basketball.
sad.
Yeah.
Basketball, yeah, but I'm like, no, people hold on tight. The season is not over yet because anything can happen. RSL is one. Decision day comes around, and miracles happen. Miracles do happen.
All
And
right.
besides, with how with how college football goes, you can start watching a college football game, watch the RSL game during halftime because college football takes forever to play, and still catch the end of the college football game.
He's not
Yeah.
wrong.
I
He's
I
not
think
wrong.
one of the funniest complaints against soccer is like, oh, people are like soccer takes 6 hours and no one scores. I'm like, that's college football, y'all.
Yeah, that's college football. Yeah. No. So I guess that's just a concern that's been lingering in my head is that RSL not doing well. I the all the RSL groups that I'm a part of are all silent. So what does RSL need to do, or how do they need to come out? Like, what are you guys expecting this Saturday against Casey? We've had 2 weeks of camp, we'll call it.
Yeah, I want the same kind of intensity that we saw in that first half against Minnesota, where we saw Victor get that goal in his first home game. And we saw that intensity that him and Rowan brought. And I think that they can do that because they're going in against a KC team that they struggled last week at home against Austin. And looking at the stats, KC, the last time that they got a win on the road, you got to go back to July 4th at Colorado.
And before that, they probably did
And
have one for a minute too.
before that, May 31st in Houston.
Yeah, they ain't winning on the road a lot. Um, and I guess if we're gonna try to be positive to the TikTok that we put on, we might be a little too positive. Um, we did have 27 shots. Going back to our Herediano game. You guys remember how many shots did we have that game?
Uh,
Like 30, 20?
something
Something.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting shots. Now we just need to put multiple of them in the back of the net. Now,
A stat that's worrisome about KC, they 21 goals scored after the 60th minute, which makes them third most in MLS.
them scoring after the 60th minute.
Correct.
Hmm.
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 Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know how to take that, but I'm going to take it and say shove it. Because, look, at this point, what we're looking at is I think we're going to have. In fact, let's talk a little bit about our lineup. How are we going to line up? I think we are beyond the point of saying Luna needs rest because of his international participation. In fact, I've always thought it was Bull, but um, I think with how desperate the club is, he needs to play after coming back.
Yeah, and
I
I think
think that.
that's
Oh, I was just gonna say. I think we're gonna see actually a somewhat similar lineup. We're gonna see a similar, or if not the same formation as we saw in our last home game. So it's gonna be the 4-4-2. I think our backline again is gonna be Junca, Vera, Glad, and then Caliscan on the right side, followed by Gonçalves, Luna, then Nelly or Pablo, and then Gozo on the right hand side with Ola Tunji and Cruz on top.
I
Hold
think
up, you got one more too
oh,
many
And
players,
sprinkles.
bro. Literally, that's what you just did. I think you did one
No,
too many players.
no,
I
no,
gave a couple of choices.
no. He had an option for the defensive mid.
Okay, that's
I,
where I got confused.
I
And
personally
sprinkles.
and the sprinklers. I personally want to see Ojeda starting game in and game out because we saw the Ojeda from the Leagues Cup, but Pablo had a different decision in the last game against Minnesota and just had him come off the bench. No, no. I think in these next 7 games, we need that Ojeda that we saw in the Leagues Cup playing have that same mentality.
In fact, I would even go out and pretty bold and say I think Ojeda and Pablo need to start. I
Ooh.
currently right now, this sounds bad, but don't take it bad. All right. And
All
those
the
of
love
you,
to all the love to Anelli.
well, stop. I need everyone to understand that I'm not saying this from a bad spot, but I think I'm done with the Anelli experiment. I'm not lately, and it might have been the injury that he had, but I'm not fully convinced right now. He had an amazing beginning of the season, hence why he got called up.
Hmm.
I mean, he's a good player. I just I'm not seeing the qualities that I would like to see in a defensive midfielder, which would be most similar to Ojeda. I'm very attached to Ojeda in the way that he plays. It is a
That's fair.
controlled and push out. It's very similar to how the Argentina defensive mids plays, like Paredes. Like it's a you receive the ball and you aggressively push. Where Nelly he does it, but it just seems very erratic, and it doesn't spark confidence in me. But again, call me out. I might be wrong.
Honestly, the way that Anelli's been playing, could possibly be better suited as an attacking mid over a defensive mid with how he's been playing at this point. Because he's been doing better on the offensive front than the defensive front.
I would actually split it. I think he'd just be a good center
Center
midfielder.
mid. That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Um, though I don't mind him as a defensive mid because of his defensive skill and his defensive mind. But I think how our formation is with in a 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, however, those two defensive mids are the center mids. And sometimes
Hmm.
the pushing up sometimes is not our forte. And so
Agreed.
we rely
That's
on our
fair.
wings, and our wings are not the strongest right now, especially on the Giogo side of things. And I think that's where sometimes we lack, especially in that Minnesota game. it was like non-existent. Caliscan
Hmm.
really just butchered that. Anelli was trying to make up for it and couldn't. It was rough. So that's why I think I'm over that, and I want Pablo and Ojeda in the middle.
So
And what?
I was gonna say, how's the optimism? We all feeling good then for Saturday?
I mean, I'm not gonna let you know yet,
You're not gonna
but
let me know?
It's not pa time yet.
it's not papa time. But what I do feel is this. I wouldn't mind seeing Giogo benched and have Luna start on the wing and
Wow.
Gozo start on the other
Wow.
wing and have Olatunji and Cruz up top.
Interesting.
Possibly. Possibly.
That is a
Possibly.
possibility.
We've seen crazier things from Pablo, but I think if you want hardcore results and people who are willing to, I mean, let's take it to the extreme because why not? They're willing to die on the field for the team. We need those players on the field. Again, said player, number 10 on the outside, doesn't seem to be all in. And if he's not going to be all in, I don't want him on the field. I need Luna and Gozo on the wings.
Fair
I
enough.
as much as Luna has been playing in the mid, I need him on the wing. And
Absolutely.
if we're talking that Luna plays really well for the U.S. national team, he's been playing on the wing there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't he just though technically he played at 10. So,
Yeah, he was a 10 on this last game, but and
but
again,
he
I,
floated.
and I- and if he honestly looking at who we have up top now, if he could play that way and kind of dummy those balls in and just do those hard flicks, I think those were so underappreciated. Thought Mob, what are you doing with your ratings?
Because they
Like,
don't have
give
ratings for
Luna's.
flicks.
Oh my gosh. But
No,
those were such dangerous flicks.
Right.
what
Right.
what I'm saying is just that. Put Luna on the wing with Olatunji and Cruz up top. You are looking at maybe the magic formula for us to have success. Ooh, ooh, then it tickles my feet. Um,
Some sprinkles on top.
and there we go, sprinkles. All right, so fine, let's do this. We're finally gonna do prediction
Prediction time.
time.
Let's
We're,
do this here. Let's
we'll
do
get
this.
synced on that one of these days.
Margos, give it to us.
You know, after 2 weeks, RSL is gonna break the losing streak, and we're gonna win big. We're gonna win big Saturday. 3-1 RSL.
Oh, you
You
know the
know,
what?
I was having the same thought.
What?
You
Tell
don't
me
think
yours.
so?
Tell me yours.
I was thinking 3-1 too, but I'll be a little more conservative. I'll go 2-1, and both Olatunji and Cruz score.
Oh. Um, I'm gonna go even bigger than that. I'm gonna go 3-0 Cabral shutout.
I'm a fan.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Luna Cruz Olatunji. We're getting it. We're getting it. We're back. Um, guys, I'm super excited. But we know we have to answer some of your questions. So
I'm
right
excited to
now,
answer questions.
it is Instagram questions time.
Here we go. We'll close it off. First question of the night. Of the 7 remaining games, which one are you guys looking forward to the most?
Ooh.
You already said it, Christian.
Rocky Mountain Cup.
Yeah. I think RMC is going to be that's going to be even if by that point we are eliminated from playoffs, that has to be the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, people are gonna say, "No, I'm excited for Sun." No, Rocky Mountain Cup,
I mean,
hands down.
it will be cool to see Son if he comes to Utah, but
Rocky
the
Mountain Cup.
rivalry game. Oh,
Yeah, that one just gives me shivers just thinking about it.
Oh yeah. And especially it's here, right? Yeah.
mhm.
Absolutely,
It's
that was a must.
it's going to be lights out.
Next question: in you guys' opinion, did Luna disappoint during this break at all?
A bit.
I
I think we said what we said, what would need to be said when we talked about him going against South Korean against Japan.
I thought you were for sure you're going to say, "We said what we said when we said it."
That too.
Um, but I think, and this might be a little bit more negative than people are expecting. I think we need to stop expecting this much and maybe expect a little bit less. Expect a 21-year-old trying to get himself into the senior team. We're not talking
Right.
about the 18, 19-year-old that went to the U20 World Cup. We're talking about he's a little bit older and he's playing against way older and way better players.
Yeah.
It's a tough ceiling to crack. Even on the U.S. for people like, oh, the U.S. sucks. I'm like, I want to see you try to make the U.S. senior team.
You do
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next question for you guys. Do we win any of the LAFC matches?
Best chances at home.
That's going to be the best chance.
I see, well, we'll talk about it more next week, but I honestly see draw loss.
That's likely, but if we're talking about do we see a win, the best chance we have at a win is what Christian said at home.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Last question of the night for you guys. What's your dream front of the shirt sponsor for RSL?
Oh.
What?
This is an odd question. Very odd.
Ooh.
I I don't know if I've ever even thought about that.
You know, I'll go first.
The RSL Bros.
We're gonna sponsor RSL. Okay. You know, I'm gonna go local. I'm gonna go Kaye. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Why not? Why not have Kaye be a sponsor?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Krispy Kreme,
Krispy Kreme swig.
Smiths.
Oh,
Let's see.
gotta
What
think bigger.
now gotta think like Utah. What's
Well,
Utah?
well, somebody he said example Maverick.
I'd expect
Maverick.
that for the Monarchs, but it's got to be something big,
Like how big is big? Like Walmart big?
like Coca-Cola. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
dude, imagine Coca-Cola's the jersey sponsor. Everyone gets free Coca-Cola at the games.
I think
Coke
there's
Zero
already
on top.
ew.
I mean, ew.
So, slight confession. Everyone needs to know this at this point. Yeah, if you've been with us for a while, you're now considered family. So, I actually hate Coca-Cola. Like the
And it's
taste of it.
and Alan has now kicked off the Bros podcast.
Next week, Christian and Marcos. No, I actually hate it because mom used to give us cola syrup when we were
Oh,
nauseous.
that's fair. I remember that as a kid.
Well,
Yeah,
My mom had the same stuff.
you weren't drinking the Mexican Coke.
no, because cola syrup is like pure cola syrup. Anyways, that's my confession.
But thanks for the questions, everybody. The good solid questions tonight.
All right, so we're done. We're done for tonight. Here's the biggest takeaway, I think. We have a lot more to say. We just didn't have time.
But RSL's not done. The season's not done. There's 7 games left, and RSL needs all of you guys this Saturday to pack the stadium. Be there early.
Show up.
Christian's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Show up. Be loud. Let's get 3 points.
Let's because right now I'm sorry. As you guys are saying that, I'm trying to look up the Utah football schedule to make sure. Guys,
No,
Utah's
they're on
away.
and BYU has doesn't have a
A
game
bye
this
week.
weekend. Yeah, BYU's bye.
Guys, what are you guys gonna do? There you go. You're gonna go to the RSL game.
Yeah, Logan's too far away to drive up for the game, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, too far away. And who cares about Weaver State?
Bet.
oh, don't. y-
Sorry for all you Ogden people.
I was gonna say we have supporters groups, people that drive down from Ogden and they're big Weaver folks.
I know.
We're gonna get so much flack at the
We-
You guys can DM me at mpick10. Oh, all right, guys. Well, it's been fun. let's wrap this up. Marcos.
If you guys are not already, head over to X, head over to TikTok, head over to Instagram, and follow us at the RSL Bros, and listen to us wherever you catch your podcast on Spotify and Apple, and watch us on YouTube.
You got it. All right, guys. It's been great. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.